Behind me, you can see perhaps the best interview scene ever shown in a motion picture, in my humble opinion. This is from Satyajit Ray's Pratidwandi. Satyajit Ray, of course, is the renowned Indian filmmaker. It starts with a routine question to the interviewee: could you please show your papers, please? He has his diploma folded up in a newspaper roll, not very professional but very endearing. And then one of the interviewers asks him if he has completed his BSc, to which he replies in the affirmative. He is then asked what is his age, how old are you? He replies just over 26. He is asked when did you complete your graduation, when did you graduate? He says 1966, to which a very logical follow-up question is asked, have you been idle ever since? He says, no, I was in a medical college for 2 years. This baffles the interviewers. They ask, why were you in a medical college for 2 years? What were you doing there? He replies, I was studying, sir. Only for 2 years? What made you leave medicine? Did you suddenly lose interest in medicine? To which the interviewee gives a bombshell reply, which the viewer is aware of because this has been depicted in the very first scene of the movie. To the question, did you suddenly lose interest in medicine? The interviewee replies, no sir, I lost my father. This gives the interviewers pause. The tone of the interview shifts. It seems to the viewer that the interview is going in the right direction from the interviewee's point of view. Maybe the interviewee will get the job. He is asked, what is your aim in life? To which he gives a very good answer. The best answer I have heard to this question in my lifetime. Right now, sir, my aim is to get a job. One of the interviewers asks, but the job you've applied for has nothing to do with medicine. To which the interviewee replies, but sir, my graduate degree in science required studying botany. Another interviewer asks him, do you like flowers? To which he gives an even better answer. Not unconditionally, sir. Some flowers I like, some I don't. He is really hitting it out of the park at this stage in the interview, to borrow an American phrase. Then he is asked, does the term mitochondria suggest anything to you? To which he gives a less than impressive answer. I feel I could have answered that question in a better way. I would have said it is the powerhouse of the cell. But he says it's a small thread-like body in the cytoplasm, which is not inaccurate, but a better answer could have been given. But I am picking nits here. For the average cinema viewer, that's a very good answer. The next question, I believe, was answered spectacularly. He is asked the question, who was the Prime Minister of England during independence? To which he asked the question before answering, which is something I would advise all my students to do. Understand the question properly before committing to an answer. He asks, whose independence, sir? And he gets a reply, our independence. Then he confidently replies, Attlee, referring to Clement Attlee, who was the Prime Minister of Britain when India got independence in 1947. At this stage, the interview was going perfectly. He is then asked the one question which makes or breaks his interview. Let's find out what that question is. He is asked, what would you regard as the most outstanding and most significant event of the last decade? He thinks for a while and answers, the war in Vietnam, sir. This makes the interviewers think about his answer, and they ask him a follow-up question. Do you think the war in Vietnam was more significant than the landing on the moon? To which he says, yes, sir. And the interviewers are even more puzzled. They ask, why do you think so? He says, while the moon landing was a remarkable achievement, it took years of planning and wasn't as unpredictable as the war in Vietnam. To which the interviewer gives him an off-ramp. He asks him, do you think the war in Vietnam was unpredictable? If he would have said, no sir, it was predictable and it wasn't, maybe we can say the moon landing was more significant, then he probably would have got a job. But he doubles down. He says, the moon landing was remarkable, it was predictable, and the war in Vietnam itself was not unpredictable, but the power of the Vietnamese people, the spirit they demonstrated, ordinary Vietnamese people, peasants who did not have any training, who it was not a feat of technology but that of human courage. The very act of resistance by the Vietnamese people takes your breath away. This raises the suspicion in the minds of the interviewers, which I believe is raised in the mind of you, the viewer. And the interviewers ask him, are you a communist? To which the interviewee replies, I don't think one has to be a communist to appreciate the spirit of the Vietnamese people. To which the interviewer concludes, that doesn't answer my question, however, you may go now. If you've seen the movie, you know whether he got the job or not, and this, I believe, is the best interview scene I've ever seen in a motion picture, and undoubtedly the highlight of the movie Pratidwandi by Satyajit Ray, featuring Dhritiman Chatterjee in the lead character, who goes unnamed throughout the movie. Please check out Pratidwandi. It is available on YouTube. Thank you for watching this video.